Hello everybody, Jose Ortiz with AndroidPolice.com. We have an unboxing for you today of Sony Ericsson's Xperia X10 Mini Pro. We recently unboxed the X10 Mini and we got a hold of the Pro version as well. So we wanted to do a little comparison side by side. Of course, the Pro was announced alongside the X10 Mini at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, February 2010. And it is now available. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. Now, if you saw the X10 Mini unboxing, you can see that again the packaging is very similar, except they've gone with a little blue hue on this one. But again, no specs on the sides. This is the U20i, the international version, not the US version. So we're probably going to see a bit difference in the charger. Let's go ahead and break this seal. Alright, and take a look at what's inside. Alright, so once again, we have the device itself, and very, very, very similar to the X10 Mini. It is heavier. I can tell already there is more weight to it because, of course, they're packing in more with that little keyboard. Let's go ahead and set this aside for now. Take a look. Again, we have that splash screen. This insert. Again, we have the USB to micro USB cable. This time you have the battery, so the battery is going to be replaceable on this device. You have some earphones with, does this one have? Yes, it does. Has an inline microphone. And of course the international charger, but again it does have the USB port. You will be doing your charging through USB. And, of course, the plethora of inserts and pamphlets. Let's go ahead and set that aside for now and take a look at the device itself. Alright, so I can tell already this is actually a little bit bigger. We'll do a little side-by-side comparison with the X10 Mini itself. But overall, very, very similar. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front of this device. Up top, you still have that Sony Ericsson branding with the earpiece still at the top. I see a few holes at the top, or a few kind of sensors hiding beneath that bezel there. So I'm guessing they're proximity sensors, light sensors, and so forth. You have the Xperia branding, same three hardware buttons, back, home, and menu. On the right hand side of the device you have the volume rocker again. Of course it's a little different though, not chrome on the Pro version. You still have that dedicated camera button, and it is two-stage, so that's great that that was kept. Alongside the bottom you have a lanyard slot there, so you can slide a lanyard in there along with what looks to be the microphone. Along the left-hand side, you have the micro USB port, and I mentioned in the previous unboxing that sometimes they put covers on these, which make it a bit of a hassle to get to, so glad to see that there is no cover on this port. Up top, you have the on-off switch, or the standby switch as well, and they've moved the 3.5mm jack for the earphones or headphones to the top on the X10 Mini. It's at the bottom, and again we'll do a side-by-side comparison in just a moment. Still, it's a 2.5-inch screen. Overall, all the specs are the same on the device. You still have that 5-megapixel camera, LED flash, positioned slightly different. The branding is different as well. Well, the branding itself is the same, but the positioning is different. You have the speaker grill here on the back, the Sony Ericsson globe along with the Sony Ericsson name, and the Xperia branding here at the bottom. It is still that soft touch material back, which is nice, but the front is still glossy. And the nice thing about this one, nice landscape QWERTY slide out keyboard. The keys actually feel very, very nice. Surprised that they were able to fit such a beautiful keyboard on such a small device, but should definitely help out with the text entry. Sliding mechanism feels a little tough when pushing it down, but overall I think it's just fine. Alright, let's go ahead and do a little quick quick comparison with the X10 Mini right next to it. As you can see, the X10 Mini Pro is a little bit taller. You know, probably to fit in that nice keyboard. It is a little bit thicker. Let me see if I can get this at a flat angle. Zoom that out. Alright, it is a little bit thicker. You can kind of see this popping up, the X10 Pro popping up a little bit. In terms of width, it does feel like it's got maybe an extra couple millimeters wide. So overall, the X10 Mini Pro, I should say, is a little bit bigger, but not by much. You can still see it's really small. You know, definitely still fits in the palm of your hand. And again, just to put it into context, here's the X10, and you can see the X10 is just a giant next to these two devices. Alright, so even though the X10 Mini Pro is a little bit bigger, not by much, nothing significant when you take the rest of the size into consideration. Again, just some side-by-side comparisons. Here is the right-sided device. As you can see, the up and down volume rocker, the X10 Mini is on the left, X10 Mini Pro is on the right. The up and down volume rocker is a little bit different. Chrome buttons on the Mini, plastic buttons on the Mini Pro. The backs that came included with the X10 Mini will not fit on the Mini Pro, obviously different size. Again, chrome shutter button on the Mini, plastic button on the Mini Pro. Along the bottom, I already mentioned that the headphone jack was moved, so it's not on the bottom on the Pro. Also, the micro USB connector on the Mini is not on the bottom of the Pro. It's actually moved to the side, and we can see here the difference. Nothing on the Mini with the port on the Pro, and up top you can see the difference there, just the headphone jack. And just for comparison's sake, there's the back, X10 Mini on the left, X10 Mini Pro on the right. You can see they switched around the layout a bit, but overall it looks pretty similar. Let's go ahead and open up the back. Let's see, I'm guessing it's a snap-on cover as well. Yes, it is. Gotta tell you, I'm not a big fan of these snap-on covers. And in the back you have a oh, okay, this is the tray. So you have the SIM slot there. You have the micro SD card actually slot on the side, and you can see where the battery goes. Have it open, might as well put the battery in there. Alright, so there's the battery, and unlike the Mini Pro, you can replace the battery yourself. I'm sorry, unlike the X10 Mini, you can't replace the battery. So there you have it, folks, the Xperia X10 Mini Pro. Since it's such a similar device in terms of all the specs other than the keyboard, the hardware keyboard, we're going to do a combined review of the X10 Mini and X10 Mini Pro, fighting with that box there, on AndroidPolice.com, so be sure to stay tuned.